The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
Aloha, and welcome to this episode of Polymer Play with me, Barbara Hanson. In this one, we're going to learn how to make a jelly roll and turn it into jewelry. See? Stay tuned. Aloha. Aloha, and welcome to this episode of Polymer Play. It's a happy new year, and I'm so excited to have another year here on Naleo TV. In this episode, we're going to learn how to do jelly rolls and turn them into really cool jewelry. So let's dive right in, because it's a new year. And if you remember from last year, I sure love my hearts because my grandfather's birthday was on Valentine's Day. So I decided on this episode I would scale it a little differently to something that would be an easy project for you to do at home. Sometimes I get carried away and I do big projects, but that's what happens when you've done polymer clay for 40 years. Okay, we're starting with the jelly roll. What I've done is I've taken two different colors, contrasting colors, and I rolled them out of my dough sheeter to get them ready to roll together. So I'll show you. I'm going to start like this. And see how they're tapered? Okay, see this one, how green is on the outside? If I roll the blue on the bottom, then the blue is on the outside. So you have to think about what you want your outside color to be. So I'm starting, I want to give it a really tight pinch to roll it. This is like the most classic, iconic polymer clay roll based on the jelly roll that used to be made. I've actually never made a real jelly roll. I think I should try it. I've done like cookie stuff, but not the jelly and bread. Okay, so once I get it around, I'm going to slice it at an angle like this. Okay, and finish that up. So today, I figured as we go into January, I usually start my hearts for February. And, to the shoes in my grandpa's homage. Today I'm wearing my little cowboy boots because he was a John Wayne fan. And so he liked the old cowboy movies. So there we go. Okay, I'm pulling down this roll. I did roll it a little bit, which I tell you not to do. With the jelly roll, you can roll it a little bit. It's when you have the complex canes with all the different things coming in. It makes it more difficult because then you've got more air pockets in there, potentially. Okay, once we have this, there's a bug. Oh, that looks cool. Once we have this, we're going to pull it down because we're going to be doing some small pieces. Now, I'm not going to bore you with making each jelly roll, but I want to show you that I've done jelly rolls in all these colors to prepare for, can you see all those? Yeah, okay. So with each of those, I'm going to pull down little sections and we're going to do a whole bunch of really cool things. Now, when you're doing a jelly roll, you always want to do contrasting colors. In fact, these would have been really cool if I would have done it all in black and white. It would have been kind of maybe a little red. That would have been edgy, which is funny. I'm doing hearts. I didn't do any red. I don't use a lot of red. I tend to be a fuchsia girl. So as I get this pulled down, I think the first thing we're going to do is make little beads like my earrings. So I'll get this down a little bit smaller. I can show you what the earring looks like. Whoop. Get it off my ear. I'll just set it down there. So what I did with this is we're going to roll a ball of clay. We're going to cover it with a slice, roll it in, shape it, cook it, wear it. You can do that too, you know. It's a new year. You know what that means? Do more art. Makes you happy. It's important to stay in the present. This does it. All right. I'm going to start by doing these earrings in the blues. You can do them multicolored, but I'm choosing to do them kind of in a monochromatic. Sometimes you get little cracks like that, you see? You kind of push them together, hold it for a little bit to get it warm, or pick the weakest spot to make the slice, because it's kind of told you that that's where it wants to be cut anyway. Oh, and when you use your blade, cut with the blade down. Hello. Okay, so we're going to take it a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to let that rest while we make the beads that go underneath it. I caught that. Okay. So what I did was I took some of my scrap and I rolled it into a tube. Whenever you want to make beads that are close to being the same size, it's really hard to nail that one. What you want to do is you roll out a clay tube like this, and I just use my scrap because everything else is good clay. You can reuse it. Then what I do is I cut little lengths, ideally the same size, and then I take these little balls and roll them, and then I know that I'll have two insides that are roughly the same size. But it's hard to nail it exactly because you know how it is when you start cutting your cane. You don't want to cut it too thick. You don't want to cut it too thin. You want to cut it just right. Easier said than done. The easiest way to slice is not to have a big long thing when you're working because it trails and it makes it hard to go across. So you're going to take a nice little one to work with. When you're slicing, the thickness is about maybe like a dime or a little less. It's very small. If you go too thin, it's really hard to reshape it. And if you go too thick, then what you're doing is you're wasting your cane because you could have gotten several slices out of it instead of one. Okay, so I'm going to take my little slices and see how I'm rolling as I cut. What that does is I can kind of flick the slices away. I'm also going to make some a tiny bit smaller because if I get caught in a weird area, then I can fill it in with that. Okay. All right. So we have these little slices. Okay. These were the balls that we started with. Okay. Now, when you start to cover your cane or your ball, what you want to do is you want them to touch one another, but you don't want them to overlap. I mean, unless you want them to overlap. I don't want them to overlap. So it's kind of like a soccer ball. You're kind of going around and you're looking forward to what your next slice is going to be because you don't want to put yourself in a pickle. Okay, see, here's my pickle. See how small that is? That's okay because I've already done these little ones that I can put in there. Okay, now I'm going to look ahead. Here's another. Actually, I'm going to go bigger for that. And I'm going to go with the little slices too. You don't have to leave them round. This is more of an oblong shape. So I'm going to take my slice and see how I just kind of bent it a little bit like that. So I can take that little piece and put it right there. Okay. And now I'm going to take this piece and fit it in here. Okay. So basically, once I've put all these little slices going all the way around, you really should hardly see any of the background. If you see the background color, what's going to happen is when you roll it, that color is going to come through. So that's how that goes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that little precious bead we're making, and I'm going to roll it in my hands. It's tight little rolls, round and round little circles, and it's so cool because the little lines in between, I hope you can see this, they just start to disappear. It's absolutely amazing. And, okay, hold that thought. I'm going to roll it a little bit more. And then, so when the canes are older, it's a little harder to get it completely smooth, but look at that. That is so cool. Okay. Now that we've got this smooth ball, we're going to shape it into a heart. You ready? The way that I do it is I flatten it on the top. Whoops, I have a crease in my glove. I don't want a crease in my glove. I like to wear gloves because I don't like fingerprints and I don't really want to absorb all the clay that I'm touching. Okay, so I start with a round circle. I'm going to look at both sides and see which side I like better. And then decide where I want the bottom. And I'm going to give it a little pinch like this. And then flatten it and pinch and flatten. So now, actually, this is a cool earring shape too. You could just stop here and put something in the top or something in the bottom or both. But I'm going to keep going since I'm on the heart mission for Grandpa. All right. Okay, so now I flipped it over. This is the top of the heart. I'm going to kind of like give it a little wedgie in there. Sometimes you can use, see how it's starting to form here? Sometimes you can use something like this to kind of get down in there and then go back. Remember, you control the clay, right? This should be my bumper sticker. Okay. Oh, that's cool. See, we've got the little heart right there. Isn't that fun? Oh. And it says colors. Love you, Grandpa. So at this point, I'm not going to make another one because I just made one and I want to show you more things than the same thing over and over again. But I will show you that at this point, what I do, they make screw eyes you can put in here. There's lots of different ways you can put connectors into the beads, but I've been using these lately. So see this? It's a little eye pin thing. And this one's long. And so I just want to cut off a piece like that. And then I'm going to take my little precious heart and this little pin. And I'm going to put it right in there. Now, I could put a hole through it, but this is what I want to do. But you can do whatever you want to do because when you make your art, it's yours. Okay, so there you go. Now, once this is fired, what I do is I take needle nose pliers, I pull it out, dip it in the super glue gel, pop it back in, and then you have an earring like the one I'm going to put back on. It's always funny when you're walking through the supermarket and you go like this, you only have one earring on. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now you can do all different sizes. We're gonna make a big one because I want to show you how to do that. This is really cool because you can get a lot of pattern. With this one, I took slices from all the different things. On this next one, I'm gonna make it all like blues and greens so you can see again something different. Okay, so when you start to do your ball for a bigger pendant style piece, remember whatever size you start with, it's going to be bigger because I'm going to put a whole layer all the way around it. And it's really hard to get these to match. In fact, I don't try. But this would be too heavy to have as an earring. But it would work as a keychain or a little fob for something. Obviously, great necklace. Okay. So here I've taken my scrap. I've rolled it in a nice tight ball. Actually, that's kind of cool. And what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to go all blues and greens. Because my idea is to match. Oh, I'm going to keep that so I can make the bead that matches it over there. Okay. So that it matches this one over here. Okay. Slicing. Okay, I'm going to go a little quicker when I slice now because, well, I know how to. Now, when I do the bigger piece, I usually use bigger I vary my size of the slice. I don't keep them all exactly the same. Okay, so we've got some teal, some blue. Now, the colors that you're seeing here aren't necessarily colors that you can buy because I mix and blend. I've got a big dough sheeter, but you can use a regular pasta machine, or you can just blend with your hands. It just takes a long time. but the pasta machines, now they make like a little engine you can put on it so you can use both your hands and then work it with your foot, kind of like a sewing machine. It's very cool. Okay, let's see. I have all my colors here. Oh, wait, did I use my... Oh, no, I haven't used that one. Okay. I also have this green one that I made. So I usually keep, when I'm doing projects, I like to just take a little portion of the roll and pull it down for a couple reasons. One reason is right when you pull it down, it's at its softest, and so it's easier to roll in and manipulate. Another reason is you can make a roll smaller, but you can't make it bigger. And yeah, I think those are the main two reasons. It's really the flexibility. I like being able to manipulate it. Oh, I like these colors. Well, we're off to a new year, new beginnings. I'm pretty excited about this year. You know, my daughter was supposed to be with me today, helping on this fun adventure, but unfortunately she's not feeling well. She's home from college and I'm having such a good time with her. She's the best. This weekend I get all my kids. My other daughter comes home too. Yay. Okay. Oh, this is great. Okay, see how fun that is? Now I have a whole bunch of things to work with. I typically don't like slice and put on, slice and put on. I like a little array and then just go for it. So here we go. And what I'm going to try and do here is vary my colors. I don't necessarily want two of the same thing to be touching. That's just the way I roll. Ha ha ha, the way I roll. That's funny. Okay, I want some of this size, this color bigger. All right. Just going to do a couple of these bigger guys. There we go. That's the beauty of the variety of slices. All right, there. Ah! It is a game. I find myself like counting in my head. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that. But keep going here. We're varying it. And getting there. A couple more of the big guys. So the jelly roll, although it seems like it's a, on the simpler side of things, it's kind of crucial in learning how to work with polymer clay. It gives you the chance to, I'm breaking my rule here. It gives you the chance to explore working with your patterns without like wasting a pattern, so to speak. If you spend hours building up a pattern, you're like afraid to just cut it up and do things with it. Whereas with this type of a situation, you can just go for it because you're not afraid of using it. So I like, and you know what? It's a spiral. It's everything coming back around together in the world. It's a beautiful, has beautiful meaning. All right. This is looking a little, okay, I'm not going to worry. Because sometimes it's hard to talk, walk, and chew gum and roll beads at the same time. Okay, so now we're back to this circumstance where we've got it all covered, right? Giving it a little push in and I'm getting ready for the magic roll. Here we go. Small and tight. If you do big ones, it gets it'll smear the pattern. Okay. Loving this. This is great. Now, even though we're forming these into hearts, remember, you don't have to do that. In fact, maybe, well, actually I will show you with the big one. Okay, smooth, we got it. Pick our side, and I like that. Now, with these bigger ones, it's kind of easier to move this over a little bit. It's easier to give it a little push, but I don't do it on the table. I do it on the paper. And This kind of gives me something to start with. So at this point, you could put a hole through and have a keychain, but we're going to keep going. It's the same kind of pinching motion like I did with that one. Ooh, I'm liking that shape. You know what is cool about polymer clay and the 40 years? Every day I get excited about something completely new. Like I see something I haven't seen for a while. I'm like, oh, or it's just there's no rule book or handbook or guidebook. It's just you just explore and see where you go, and it's such a beautiful thing. Okay, there we go. Look how cool that is. Yeah. Okay, that's our next one. Okay, let's try something a little different than all of that. I made this, and I thought that this was really a cool, unique thing to do because you're taking your jelly rolls and you're using them as little canes to create little pictures. So I'm going to take, what color should I do? I'm going to take pink. Actually, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take some scrappy stuff. That's not totally scrappy, but there it is. Okay. Now, with this kind of scrap, there's actually something else you can add to it to make it, because it looks kind of like bloop bloop. Oh, wait, you don't want hairs. No hairs. Whoops. No ants. We don't want ants either. Nothing worse than you cut your roll open and you see a little critter in there. Okay. See how that looks kind of... I just don't like it. I can't find the word I want to use for that. It looks too... Okay, see, that looks better. It looked too blocky, like a block of this color and a block of that color for me. So by swirling it, this is actually how you blend to make colors. But see this? Now when I put this back together and I roll it, it's going to have a more interesting feel. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to roll it. I just think that is precious. In fact, I'm going to keep that. Now you could either, oh, where'd mine go? You can either put it on a cord, or you could put a jump ring on it and bead it with beads on the necklace, which would be cool. See how much better that is? Okay, I'm happy now. All right, I'm going to take my paper, figure out the side I want it, give it a press. Press it. Okay, so this is kind of like, it's like our canvas that we're going to work on. Okay. Again, since we're sticking with the heart theme, I'm going to pinch the bottom. And we're going to wedge, do the top again. Might use a little of this. Okay. Oh, all right. That's cool. Oh, I'm excited right now. Okay, so we've got our heart. We've got our heart. Okay, I'm going to put it on the paper. And I'm going to take some of the green. So this is the green on the green. And I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Oh, I always like my ends cut off. I like to work with it clean. So I'm going to pull it down a little bit more. Now this I'm going to make into a little tiny leaf. It's going to be cute. I want the stripe thing on the top. So I'm going to pinch the bottom. Or it could be considered the top. I don't know. It actually doesn't matter. It's whatever you like. Okay. See how I've created this little tiny... That is really cute. This little tiny petal. Okay, I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, let's take, let's see. I'm going to start with about 6 slices. I don't know how many I need, but that's where we're going to start. And we're going to... I want the petals coming out from underneath the flower. So remember, I can wrap this, right? And take this and go here. Okay, that's really cute. Okay, then I'm going to take yellow for my petals. Now, this one, this leaf or whatever you call it, I pinched it long because I wanted it to be like a leaf. But with the petal, I want it a little softer. I want it more like pillowy. And so I'm going to take this and do my 5 little petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now when I put the flower together, I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to do that. And do this. And do this. And that. Okay. So there I have my little flower. I'm not going to worry about the little hole in the center. I'm going to put this right here. But I'm not going to push it down all the way up because I'm going to, now that I can see where the flower is, I can add more little leaves coming out around it. Oh, this is great. Okay. How cute is that? Oh, okay. And then I'm going to put a little dot of something in the center. And I'm going to use, I think, blue because there's no blue in it yet. Okay, this little roll goes in here. So I guess the main thing I'm trying to teach you today is that you can make really simple rolls, like a jelly roll, and turn it into anything magical that you want. For me, I rediscovered today, or when I was practicing to do this class for you, how many different things you could do with it. I got excited about a jelly roll all over again, so that's totally great. Look how precious that is. You could give it to somebody just to have, sit down next to them. You could put a loop on it if you want to just string it as a necklace. You could make a keychain. I didn't even get to that part. I mean, even this would be a darling little necklace. You could do this at a birthday party with your kids. The point is, go get some polymer clay and try this. Look at all the different color combinations you can do. The sky's the limit. Oh, I want to show you one more thing before we're done. Actually, 2 things. Okay, one is when you're threading your necklace like this, always remember that you want your jump ring to go this way if you're going to do this type of a knot, and the other way if you want to do the other type of a knot. But I like these. So you just take your string and tie a knot, right? Like that. Okay. And take this and go through that, and then take this and go through that. And I think I'm keeping this one too. I love it. Oh, and it's all waterproof and it's happy. Look at how fun that is. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. The jelly roll possibilities are absolutely endless. So what I want you to do is go get some polymer clay, watch the episode again, and make some jelly rolls and make some art. I hope you have a great year. I really love and appreciate all of you and Naleo TV. Aloha.